So I'm going to create a new file real quick called arithmetic. And one of the things I want to do is have my positive integer function, and then I'm going to have my doc string explaining what happens. So it's obvious that we could figure out the logic of this and do it, but we're not going to. The way that this process works is first, we always write our test so it fails first. And so we don't write the function until we write a test. So they have a goat that's the mascot of this. And the reason the goat is the mascot is goats can climb to very high places by taking very small steps. So even though you could just write this, goat says do nothing until you have a test. So you're not allowed to write your function until you have a test for it. And so I'm going to go ahead and start my arithmetic test file as well. So the first thing I need in my arithmetic test is to import the unit test module. And then I'm going to create a class called arithmetic tester. And that class, it inherits from unittest.testCase. I think I'm doing something wrong with my syntax. There we go. It should be a capital T and a capital C. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to put a test function inside of each of here. So I'm going to do test is positive int, and that just is an argument of the self. And then I'm going to make assertions about whether things are true or false. So I could say assert true. Oh, I also need to import arithmetic. So arithmetic dot is positive int 5, and then I'm going to do self dot assert false. Arithmetic dot is positive int negative 5. I'm going to do self dot assert false. Arithmetic dot is positive int 0.5 and self dot assert false. Arithmetic dot is positive int the string A. And so this block of code is a unit test. The job of this unit test is to make sure that we get the expected behavior out of our function. After you've written the class, and every time I want to create a function, I'll write a test for it. So now after you've done that, you will now exit that, and then you have if name equal, and I don't remember the syntax offhand, so I'm going to have to look it up from something I've done previously. Okay, so it's if name, I'm just going to copy and paste this. So basically this is checking to see if this is the main file that's being run. And so this is the logic of the test, and then this tells Python, if I'm the main thing that's being run, here's what I want you to do. So now I'm going to run this file, and we failed. And that's what should happen the first time we run it. You see down here where it says failed, failure equal 1. So we failed, and now that we failed, now we get to go write the function. So now I can do the logic of this. I will bring in the floor function, say if floor x equal x, and x greater than 0, return true, else return false. Save. And now I will run it again, and this time it should pass. Such as a syntax error. I have a semicolon instead of a colon. I failed again, and the problem is that when it tried to do this on a string, it should assert false, but it's trying to compare a string to 0, or trying to take the floor of a string, and it doesn't know what to do. So I need to do something to make sure. First of all, I know I shouldn't get strings. So one option is I could just delete this test, or I could go back to my logic and say, oh, how do I deal with strings? For now, I'm just going to delete the test. But in a real world example, you would probably say, well, I need some additional logic to make sure that this is a real number. And then you see that we passed our one test, and that's what we wanted.